Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Brabantio, Brabantio.
What is your relationship to the defendant, Othello?
He is a general for the city of Venice. He was once a friend. He stole my daughter from me.
How did you first find out that your daughter would be marrying Othello?
I was awakened in the middle of the night by yelling from Rodrigo and another unidentified person telling me that my daughter had run off with the Moor.
And what was your opinion on the marriage?
I detested the marriage. I didn't think it could be true. Although I did have a dream that this would happen, but I was completely against it. I felt betrayed.
Okay, so why didn't you want Othello marrying your daughter, Desdemona?
Because he stole her from me. He took her in the middle of the night. I had no knowledge. They didn't have my consent. He's a Moor. He stole her.
And how did you respond to the news about the marriage?
The only way that she could possibly want to marry him is if he put a spell on her, magic, or he had to possess her in some way. There's no way that she would want to marry him on her own.
Do you still believe that? You didn't know? So, can you elaborate a little bit more on why you think Desdemona wanted to marry Othello?
I don't think she wanted to marry Othello. I think she was possessed. She was controlled by him. And she did not marry him through her own will.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Just a few more questions. So why was Othello constantly in your house and being exposed to your daughter?
Like I said, he was a general. He was a noble general, an honorable man. I considered him a friend, and I wanted to have him over.
So if he was a noble, honorable man, your friend, why don't you think it would be possible for Desdemona to love him traditionally or legitimately?
Well, if he was so noble, why would he steal my daughter from me without my consent? Why would he take her in the middle of the night?
Did you make it clear that he would not receive your consent in a traditional setting?
Well, we'll never know.
But referring back to his character, specifically, not the actions he took, what about his character leads you to believe that Desdemona couldn't love him?
Because she can never love somebody like that, somebody that she's afraid to even look at. There's no way. I know that there is no way my daughter would want to marry him if she had not been possessed or had a spell on her.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by being afraid to look at him?
He's a Moor.
Could you identify the two men who came yelling at your door the night of the elopement as Iago and Rodrigo?
I know Rodrigo. The other man was not identified.
Did you make it clear to Rodrigo that night that Desdemona had shown no interest in him?
Yes.
Did. Was the other gentleman present when you made that statement?
I can't be sure. I spoke with him. He never told me who he was.
But there were two gentlemen present in the street.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what statement they used to get you out of bed so quickly to check on your daughter?
I was told that my daughter and the Moor were making the beast with two bats.
And so you immediately left your bed and gathered your followers to go confront Othello, correct?
No, I wanted to. I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him, and I went to see if Desdemona was in her room, and she was gone. And then
After. Did the statement, "The Beast with Two Backs," did that turn out to be immediately true when you found Othello?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I was flustered. Everything just happened so fast, and I was just so frustrated and confused by what was going on, and I had a dream about it. I don't know.
But can you describe your meeting or confrontation with Othello?
Well, I accused him of using magic to take my daughter away from me, and I found out that he was heading to a meeting with the Duke, and so I decided to come along in order to state my case and get Othello, get his title ripped away from him because of his acts.
When you came across him initially, was he with your daughter, or was he with in any sort of position, state of undress perhaps, that might have implied that he was either practicing foul charms upon your daughter or doing anything else unchristian-like?
Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to think about that. It just, he was with my daughter, and he should have never been with my daughter, regardless of what they were doing.
Okay. So you took your grievance before the Duke of Venice, is that correct?
Yes.
And did the Duke initially support you or Othello?
He supported me until he found out who the accused was, and until Othello stated his case.
And how did you decide how did the Duke decide to resolve the situation?
Well, he didn't, once Othello came and stated his love for Desdemona and that he did not possess her, and after Desdemona admitted that she was not under any kind of spell, he believed him, and I was just left alone.
Okay. And one statement you made at the court, it was, "If my bad blame light on the man," was this again a support of the nobility and honor of Othello?
Othello was noble and honorable as a general, as a friend, but he did not deserve my daughter. He took her from me. He stole her. He did not deserve her, so I could not support him. I could not support their relationship, regardless of his status as a general or anything else.
Okay. Final questions. Brabantio, your brother, testified that you were killed by pure grief. Is that true? That you were torn apart.
My heart was ripped from my chest. My daughter left me. My wife was dead. I had no one.
So you did die of pure grief after your daughter eloped with another man.
My heart was ripped from my chest.
Would it be fair to say that this implies that you have a perhaps less than healthy relationship with your daughter?
No.
Perhaps a fixation?
No. She's my daughter. She's my daughter. She's the only person I had left. What was I supposed to do without her?
Okay. Thank you very much.